Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today I'm going to show you how you can set up wireless play on your Nintendo Switch. I'm going to show you the controllers you can use, and I'm also going to show you it working in docked mode, and also the distance it will work between them. So with wireless play, basically what it allows you to do is local multiplayer. So normally you can plug your game into your Switch and then you can play up to 4 people on the same screen. So split screen, 2 players would be just left and right, and then if it was 4 players it would be done into quarters. But if you wanted to play 2 players but have your own screen, you can do it via wireless play. So instead of having to deal with a split screen, player 1 would have the whole screen to himself and player 2 would have the whole screen to him or herself. Now this works wirelessly without an internet connection. So at the moment what I've done is I've turned off my router. You can see the symbol there. You guys will know it as a router in the rest of the world. So there's no internet connection coming into the house. This is purely working wirelessly to each other. So you will be able to use this absolutely anywhere. Even if you're in the middle of a park somewhere with no internet signal at all, you will still be able to use it. Now you can connect up to 8 Nintendo Switches together when you use wireless play. Right, okay, so to begin with I'm just going to do 2 players, 1 on each screen, and then I'm going to do split screen 4 players, and then what we'll do is we'll put it into docked mode, and before that I'll test the distance. So I'll leave this one here, so let's call this one the host, and then I'm going to bring this one in, which is going to be joining the party into this one. I'm going to start moving this away from the host and we'll see how far we get before it loses signal. Also, the bad thing about this, each console has to have its own game. So for example, if only one person's bought the game, then nobody else will be able to join into that game. Every Nintendo Switch that you want to connect has to have the same game. So if your friend hasn't got the game and he brings his Nintendo Switch around, you won't be able to link into it just because you've got the game. You both need to have copies of the game to be able to use this feature. Okay, so to begin with, let's just pop the game cartridges in and load up the games. Right, so this one here is going to be, the user is going to be Ben, and this one here's user is going to be Vince, and then when we bring the 3rd and 4th person in, they're just going to be basically, they're going to be guests into it. Right, it is actually really easy to set up. So let's just get into it to begin with. Right, so we're going to have this one as the host. So Vince here is going to be the host. So what we need to do is we just need to go down to wireless play, and we either need to choose 1 or 2 people. So for this first one, I'm just going to be doing 1 person on each of them. So it's just going to be 2 people playing together. So we press A, and then we're going to create a room. And now I'm going to choose my character. So I'm going to choose this, and then you can choose your wheels, etc. in your cart. Right, okay, so believe it or not, that's as simple as it gets there. And then later on we can actually choose, you know, how many races we want to do, and whether it's 50cc, 100cc, etc. But now let's join into it on wireless play. So remember, now there's no internet connection here. Wireless play, again, just 1 player. And this time here, now can you see underneath here it says room Vince, 1 of 8. So there's only 1 person connected at the moment, and that's Vince, so I'm going to join this room. If I'd set up 2 players on here, then it would say 2/8 because there would be 2 connected. Right, okay, so let's go into A. And again, I'm going to choose my character, so let's just leave it as Donkey Kong. Right, there we go. So these are the 2 characters here, yeah? And you can do silly things like you can talk to each other and stuff. Hello, and then it will come up on both. So, you know, Ben says hello, and then on this one, Vince can reply. And then it will say, go easy on me, or whatever you want to, there's only a certain amount of commands that you can say there. Right, okay, so that's it, back to the host. So we're going to press OK, and this is where you choose what you want to do. 50cc, mirror, 200cc, etc. No teams, normal items for the weapons and stuff, 4 races. So that will do, so we'll just press that, and then we're going to go to start race. Right now, Vince is just going to talk through the rules, because remember, you might actually be in separate rooms when you're doing this. You might not be, one person might be in one bedroom, the other person might be on another bedroom on dot TVs. So right, this is where we're going to choose what we want to race on. So I'm going to choose that one, and then this one gets to have a vote as well. So on this one, let's choose this one, Mario Kart Stadium. And then what it will do is it will select, it will just randomly go through a bit and it will select which one. There we go, okay. Right, and so now we've got local multiplayer, but you've each got your own screen. Okay, so if I go over there and if I drive this one past, you'll see it come past. There we go. Yeah, you get the idea. Okay, so that's how you would do just normal 2-player with your own screen each. Now let's split it up a bit. Let's do 4 players. So we're going to have split screen. You can have any combination. You can have split screen here, 1 screen here, split screen here, 1 screen here, or split screens on both of them. But remember, you can only have 2 on each screen. You can't now divide it into 4 when you're using wireless play. Okay, so let's get off this. Okay, one other thing just about this game. When you first of all play it, it's gonna basically be pretty awful, because what it does is it's got auto accelerate on by default. The tilt controls I think might also be on by default, and the smart steering is on. So what smart steering is, it's good for younger kids because it stops you falling off the track. And the auto accelerate, to me, there's not a lot of feel for it, so I think it's just best to turn everything off. But when you first of all get this game, don't be disheartened, because you've only got to take the 3 settings off and then it plays really well. It is actually a really good game. Now, if you were to use the little Joy-Con steering wheel, then obviously you would have to turn on tilt control on. Let's exit this one. Okay, and there it says a communication error has occurred because the host has now turned the game off. Let's just press OK. Okay, and now basically wireless play is now disconnected. Right, let's set it up again. This time we're using 2 players. So we're going to go 2 players here. We're going to press A. And now we've got to disconnect the Joy-Cons and set the Joy-Cons up. And now we're going to be holding it like this. Right, so I'm going to have to create a guest. So let's do a female one. And we're going to create room. And again, just like before, I'm going to choose my character and then pretend this is the female one. We're going to go down now, choose a character here. Okay, and now you get to choose your car, etc. Right, okay, so that is the room set up. So now we want to join in on this one here. But on this one here, I'm going to want to use the Pro controller and the steering wheel, okay? So let's go home here. We're going to go to controllers. Right, so we want this one to be player 1. Okay, so that's player 1, and we want the Pro controller to be player 2. So I'm just going to hit the 2 buttons here. There we go. Right, okay, so that's it here. This is going to be player 2, and if you have a look here, can you see there's just 2 lights for player 2, and this one's 1 light for player 1. Right, okay, so we're back in here now, wireless play. And this time I'm going to go to 2 player. Okay, that's all fine. And I've got to make a guest again for the 4th player. So again, we'll do a female one. And we're going to, instead of create room, we're going to go down to Vince. Now, can you say it says 2/8 because there's already 2 people in that room? Okay, now the fact that it says 2/8, that makes me think that the maximum you can have is actually just 8 players. So although you can connect 8 switches together, you're not going to be able to have 12 people playing it. So it's going to be, if you were all doing split screen, you would only need 4 switches, because obviously otherwise it's not going to start going 9/8 and 10/8. So it looks like if you're all doing split screen, the maximum amount of switches connected would be 4, but if you all had your own switch, then the maximum amount connected could be 8. So it looks like 8 is the maximum on wireless play. Right, so I'm joining that room now, and I'm going to choose my characters, so keep that one as that. And on the Pro controller, right, okay, so that's the host set up. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the Joy-Con in the little steering wheel, so I'm going to have to turn tilt controls on that one. Right, and we're ready to go here. Again, you can choose what you want to do. Put it just down to 50. Start race. And now we get to choose. Now we'll only be able to choose, it will only be players 1 on each of them that will be able to choose what you want to play. Okay, so as you have a look there, they're duplicated, so whatever player 1 plays, player 2 and player 4 will also have to play. Now on this one I want to make sure that tilt control is on. So once it starts. Okay, now if you have a look here, if you have a look up the top here, if I was to tap that there, that's off and that's on. So now tilt control will be on this one. So if I go to continue, then if I accelerate, can you see now it's moving around the place? Yeah, so that's that one. Obviously this one here is the player over here. Yes, that's player 4. Now, on player 2's whizzing along, because what's happened is this one hasn't been set up before, and it's got auto accelerator on, and it's probably got the where you don't fall off the track either. That's probably all on. So look, I'm trying to go off the track, and it's not letting me do anything. Yeah, see, I'm trying to go off the track. Yeah, and it's got that little kind of aerial with the light on the bottom here. Smart steering to keep me on the track. So let's get rid of that. So we're just going to press the minus button. At the moment it's on tilt steering, so get rid of that. Get rid of the smart steering, and also get rid of auto accelerate, and it makes it much more playable. Obviously if you're playing this with young kids, then you keep the smart steering on, but now you see I can go off the screen. Right, so that basically that's it. That's that one there, and player 1 is this one over here. So you get the idea of it. Now let's see how far we can go before it loses the signal. So I'm going to leave this one here like that, and let's bring this one up here, and let's see if we can get upstairs with it. Right, so I'm leaving the room now. Let's go up the stairs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the room directly above where the first Nintendo Switch is, just to see if we can play it in the room above. I know oh, there we go, we can't even get that far. Okay, so it says a communication error has occurred. Let me just press OK and see if it comes back or not. No, it doesn't. So as you can see, you don't actually get very far at all. So it looks like you are going to have to be limited to the same room. I'm just going to quickly set that up again, and I just want to go to the back of this room just to see if it's working there. So I'll just fast forward through this bit. It says here on this one, you have been disconnected. Right, let's bring it to the back of this room and let's see if it keeps connecting in the same room. Right, okay, so at the moment it's over there. Okay, now as you can see, I've got it in docked mode, but still using the wireless play. So in reality, are you going to be using it via the TVs? Yes, if you had two bedrooms next to each other, but again, if you had one TV at the front of the house and then another TV at an extension far away out the back, then it's not going to work because of the limitations of the distance that it works between. But if, for example, you had, a very thin wall between two rooms and it was only, 5, 6, 7, 8 meters away, then it is going to work. So at the moment, I've got the Joy-Con in the Joy-Con grip because we're just using it as a one player. And then I've got the Pro Controller on this one again as one player. So just press that one there, choose my one there. So as you can see, wireless play works when it's docked as well. Now, if you like the idea of having it connected up to TVs like this, I will also do a video on a LAN party, because with a LAN party you can actually set up 12 players together, each with their own Nintendo Switch. But again, I mean, personally I don't know 12 people with Nintendo Switches, but you guys might do. Right, okay, so if you have a look here, we've got this one working here on the Pro Controller. And we have this one working here on the Joy-Con grip. Yeah, so the Joy-Con grip does work, but only when you're using it as like a one player on the Switch. If I was to put this into split screen now, I wouldn't be able to use the Joy-Con grip. It would be greyed out. Another thing that's quite interesting is you can actually do the tilt control with your Pro Controller. So for example, if I'm accelerating there, you can see he's turning. So rather than using the left analog stick, if you prefer, you can use this as your little steering wheel. And the tilt also works when you use the Joy-Cons and the Joy-Con grip, and also the right analog stick you can go forward, brake and reverse. Right, so as you can see, it's really nice. It's good that they've allowed you to be able to do different things like this. But in reality, most of the time you are just going to be using split screen on the main TV or splitting it into quarters, and then on a big TV that works really well. But the wireless play is a good thing, especially for the handheld. In docked mode, like I said, you're probably not going to be using it much, but in handheld play, then it's great that you and your friend can just go to wherever you want to be. You could be on a beach, and then as long as you've both got copies of the game, you can both play against each other, kicking back on your sunbeds, and you don't have to be sharing the screen. So I hope you liked the video. Hope that answered a few of your questions, because before I did this I wasn't really exactly sure how it was working. If it helps you out, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe for more how-to videos. Take care, bye now.